Here in the lovely Catskills, near the historic Hudson River, nestles Rip Van Winkle Glen. Some people still believe the legend that the sound of thunder in the glen is caused by old Rip and the elves bowling on the green. Ridiculous. And who would be silly enough today to believe elves could brew a potion strong enough to put old Rip to sleep for 20 years or so? Impossible. Just impossible.
That's what you think. Oh, I'm Elf, the elf. I'm busy as a bug. A brew and sleeping potion for my little brown jug. If your world is full of worry and your life is full of woe, you can always choose to take a snooze of 20 years or so. Take it from Elf, the elf. I make the stuff myself. If you think you really want to sleep for 20 years or more, just wish for me and there I'll be a-knocking at your door. Oh, a customer. Van Winkle, eh? Sounds familiar.
Hey, who are you?
Oh, I'm Elf, the elf. I'm busy as a bug, and I can cure your misery with this little brown jug. Before you sip and take your trip, there's something I must know. Just what is it that bothers you, and why do you want to go?
Well, why not? I'll never amount to anything anyway. Everything is in millions and billions these days. Millions of capital for this, billions of capital for that. How much capital have I got? Nothing. Guy like me just isn't important anymore. Okay, pull a cork, friend.
This guy thinks he's really got it tough. You know, my friend, I've been around 100 years or more, and if you think it's tough today, you should have lived before.
Before what?
Before these millions and billions of capital were needed every year. I'll tell you what, my woeful friend, let's journey back a ways, so you can see what life was like way back in olden days. I'll even set you up in a small business with the necessary capital.
Yeah, capital. Moneybags Van Winkle, that's me.
A cobbler doesn't require much capital. Here's a knife and some money to buy the things you need.
Well, it takes more than a knife and a fistful of dollars to make shoes.
Not if you don't mind hard work. Call if you need me.
Yeah, but where'd he go?
You see, Rick, a colonial cobbler didn't need much money to buy his simple tools and equipment. But working with inexpensive and inefficient tools, a man had to labor 80 hours a week to produce only a few pairs of shoes for a few customers. Working from dawn to dusk, a man was lucky to earn enough in a week to house, feed, and clothe his family. In those days, the average man's wife could only dream of luxuries. Even the bare necessities of life were hard enough to come by.
Ow! Get me out of this trap!
Okay, just sit there, and we'll move forward a couple of 100 years in a hurry.
During the last 200 years, it has taken thousands of inventions and billions of invested capital to create and develop the complex tools used today. These efficient and expensive tools not only make your work easier than it was in colonial days, but your time is worth a lot more now because you produce so much more. In a typical 40-hour week, it takes 18 hours of work to buy the necessities of life. It takes 12 hours of work to pay your taxes. What you earn in the other 10 hours means you can buy a lot of things that make life more pleasant. And like most people, you'll have something left over for savings and insurance.
Of course, inexpensive tools are still used for simple jobs. This knife and a piece of willow is all the capital I need to produce a whistle to play a tune for you.
But suppose we want to get Alf's little tune to millions of people all over the country. Huge amounts of capital would be required to create the tools to do this big job and assemble and train the skilled technicians to operate the costly and complex equipment. No individual has enough capital to finance even one of the nation's larger corporations. The billions of capital our business system needs comes directly or indirectly from the savings of the American people. For example, today more than 8 million families have risked their savings to buy shares of stock directly in corporations.
Well, that leaves me out. I don't own a share of anything.
How about these?
So what's the connection?
Millions of individuals just like you, Rick, have savings in banks, insurance companies, savings and loan associations, and investment companies. These institutions reinvest insurance premiums and savings in businesses of all kinds. $1,000 of capital might be enough to operate a ceramic shop or a dressmaking establishment, while a farm might represent a capital investment of $75,000. America is a nation with large corporations as well as small ones, and it takes billions of dollars a year to finance the facilities and manpower required to serve the needs and wants of over 168 million consumers. Every business must use its capital wisely to win and maintain success. Progressive industrial concerns must be able to finance costly research programs if they are going to stay ahead of competition. Research brings about the phenomenal technological advances that create new and better products for the public. Our great transportation facilities have been created by billions of dollars of invested capital. Ships, railroads, trucks, and airplanes carry the outpourings of industry to retail outlets in thousands of cities and towns all over the United States. Today, the savings of so many people are helping to finance big and small businesses that, directly or indirectly, every adult American is an investor.
Me, an investor? Well, what do you know?
That's right. When a bank pays interest on your savings account, and when you receive dividends on your insurance policy, you get a direct return on your money.
When successful companies pay dividends, stockholders get a direct return on their investments. Many public and private institutions that serve the citizens of their communities depend upon income from investments to help meet operating expenses. For example, many churches depend upon income from investments to help carry on their good work. Investment income can help libraries to buy new books and equipment, and enable museums to complete many important projects. So every community in the nation has a real stake in the profitable operation of big and small businesses throughout the land.
Actually, Rick, you and millions of your fellow Americans provide the billions of capital industry needs to create more efficient tools of production, which enable you as a worker to produce more and therefore to earn more. And using all this capital creatively means a better life for you as a consumer, too.
For example, in 1920, you would have had to work 944 hours to earn enough to pay for this dream boat. Now, as a result of using billions of dollars of capital to create the complex and expensive tools used by industry, you work only 843 hours to earn enough to buy this super-duper special deluxe model. In 1930, This gal might have spent about $16 for a dozen pairs of silk stockings. As a result of the investment of many millions of dollars in new chemical processes, today a woman can buy a dozen pairs of better quality stockings for about $11 and have $5 left over. This extra money can become creative as savings, or it can become creative as increased purchasing power. Either way, the gal gets satisfactory interest on her money.
Of course, not all capital remains creative.
That's right, Rick. Some businesses fail even in the best of times because of bad judgment, mistakes of management, or being in the wrong spot. But the progress of our business system is measured by the margin by which success outruns failure. And in the history of our country, we have always had enough people willing to bet on progress, to risk their savings on new ideas that promise a profit, ideas that create new and better ways of life. So you see, Rick, it's millions of individuals just like you who keep our business system ticking.
Well, I guess I'm more important than I figured.
You bet you are. Your savings are important, and you're important as a citizen, as a worker, and as a consumer. That makes you, Rick, a pretty big man.
Yes, Rick, your savings and the savings of over 168 million other Americans, plus the reinvested earnings of corporations, combine to form our golden shower of creative capital. A golden shower that nourishes the creation of new and better tools of production to ensure a better standard of living for our people. There is literally no end to the story of what creative capital can do in human betterment.
Frankly, Rick, if you haven't noticed how necessary you really are, maybe you've already been asleep for 20 years. But I'm an elf of my word, so take a sniff, and off to dreamland you go.
Oh, hold it. None of that slumber well stuff for me. This country can't get along without fellas like me.
Oh, I'm Elf, the elf. I'm happy as a bug, 'cause I haven't poured a drop from my little brown jug. It seems to me in times like these with so much going on, it's a shame what you miss when you merely yawn.